Hello everyone and welcome to this first iteration of what I like to call Darro's Diary, and where I will go through some of the games and sort of been basically playing recently and maybe a few other things here and there as well. So this might be a long video now. I basically split the games I've been playing into sort of two sections. Ones I've been sort of I played like a good chunk of like over the last week or two, or a couple of weeks, and also ones that probably maybe played probably like an hour at most or so, or hour or two at most as well for the other ones. So I basically get those out of the way first and go through them. Some of these of course will be I've purchased recently as well though, so I'll probably do another games like pickups video in the near future though, but I won't go into them into more detail unless I played more of them. First game is Tales of Grace's F, which came out here, at the end of August though, so it was after it was in the States for I think like since March. I played like maybe about 2 hours of this though, and it's a pretty good game thus far with what I played of it though. Like I have a few of this Tales games now. I've Tales of Symphonia, the two like the one for the GameCube, and like Dawn of the New World for the Wii. I've got Vesperia, which I absolutely love. I've got the Tales of Eternia on the PSP, Fantasia on the GBA, and also Tales of the Abyss on the 3DS. And this one, that's pretty much the ones I have at the moment, and that's pretty much most of the ones, if not all of the ones that were actually released here. Well, there's actually I think there's Tales of the World as well. There's a few of them I think on the PSP. But what I've played this is thus far. It does look pretty nice. So even though it is kind of a HD version of a game that was only released in Japan. It was Tales of Graces, which I believe was only released on the Wii in Japan now. So this is our version of it now. But it looks good though, and I'll probably play more of this, so maybe next year. Well, maybe probably towards like because there's not really a whole lot that I'm getting towards the end of the year now. So, but maybe next year when there's a bit more less stuff, because I'm actually thinking of doing something which I'll probably talk about at the end of the video. But it's a pretty good game though. Tom Clancy's Hawks, HAWX, which I decided to get last week because I played a demo of a game called Birds of Prey on the Xbox Live, and I thought it was pretty good, and just wanted to try to get into more of those flight action games, like this and the Ace Combat series, and ones like that now. And I played like the first mission of this and a bit of the second, and it's a pretty good one. It's pretty decent. Now I believe it's got like decent reviews at best anyway. I also got the sequel, which I haven't played though, but I'm going to play through this one first. But I want to get into more of them though, because it's a genre I didn't really have played a whole lot of now. Germany, over the last, since I started playing games though, and I'd like to try and get into more of them now. So they're pretty good games though, just going around like dogfighting and things like that now, just taking out ships and tanks and other fighters and things like that now. It's pretty cool. And finally, Max Payne 3, which I got last week also, along with Hawks. I got it the same day, and it's £23, and I just decided to get it now. Even though I haven't finished, I never played the second one whatsoever. I played this first one like years ago and finished it, and like I went back into there like not recently, like a couple of months ago, and played a good chunk of it again. But I played like the first couple of chapters in this now, and it's a pretty good game thus far what I played of it now. The graphics are very nice. They're very nicely detailed now, but I wouldn't expect anything less from Rockstar Games, because they tend to do nice games. Like, despite the fact I'm not the biggest fan of Grand Theft Auto 4 now, I thought it did look nice though. And sort of got into like Red Dead Redemption. I really enjoyed. I thought it was a great game, and I love the Western world in it though. And Rockstar, like they didn't like sort of develop it. I don't know if they did though, but like they published it. That was with Eleanor last year, which looked fantastic. The whole facial animation in it was fantastic as well. But that was Team Bondi, the development. No, I don't know if Rockstar Games had any help in that there, or they just published it now. But this is a good game though. It has a cover system, which I think a lot of people from what I know didn't really like, because Max Payne before didn't really have a cover system. If you want to cover, you basically had to hide sort of manually behind a wall now, and again like go out of it again though. But that's when you get like you're tied to the wall now. You can like shoot out of it and things like that now. It's a good game though. When I played it thus far, and probably play more of it like over the next month or two perhaps. Like maybe put in a chapter or two and might finish it as well. But it's a good game. I like the whole noir aspect in this one. The way it's different from the previous ones, where the previous ones were more of like a comic book style. But this is like more sort of kind of a more version, more modern take on that whole aspect. But it's good. Like a few people did really like this, and a few people were pretty much indifferent to it. I can guess. I'll probably leave this to last. Actually, it's Borderlands 2, but I'll leave that to last since it's pretty much the one sort of been played recently, most recently. Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, specifically Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, which I got this around the time it came out there in, I think it was February, March, and I played a bit of Metal Gear Solid 2 again there when I got it though, and Peace Walker, but I just put it down. But I just part of me decided to go back to it there last week and pretty much play through the rest of Sons of Liberty, and still, like 10 years later, that game's still pretty great. It's still a really fun game though. There's certain parts of it that are kind of annoying though, but there's just some kind of epic moments though. You just like, oh man, I totally forgot this happening, and you totally forgot something like that happening in this game. It's like, man, you just get sort of cool chills or sometimes when some of the cool moments happening though. It is a pretty cool game though, and the storyline is kind of weird though. Like I can understand a bit more of it now, because I remember playing it back then. It's like playing through it. I think I played through it twice before, and I didn't understand what the fuck was going on for most of the time though. But like when it sort of kind of focused on it more, and like kind of didn't really pay much. Well, I sort of did pay attention, but I was younger then, a bit more older now. Like I was like 17, 16 pretty much, 16, 17 the first time I played through it though, so probably wouldn't have maybe understood some of the things there, but like I'm now 27 though, and therefore I understood it, the story a bit more than what I did before. But it's just this whole thing, this whole kind of Shadow Moses thing though, this whole big shell thing, and like whole like this setup thing to make it like basically a carbon copy of what occurred in Shadow Moses, and like what after like looking at it actually is that sort of things, and like other things as well, like this whole like the Patriots and who are the Patriots, and the whole like Sons of Liberty trying to actually pretty much try to take away control from the Patriots and try to make everything free again, because like the whole Patriots are the ones who pretty much are in control of like the country or like the world and out there, and like the president's kind of just this figurehead, but the Patriots in the background are pretty much sort of saying what they're telling you, but then you basically sort of find out what happened, what happens there then as well. And like the last section when you're in Arsenal Gate is all kinds of fucked up, especially with the way the Colonel and Rose and that, the way they're like acting though. It's just very weird indeed though, but still a pretty great game though. And Metal Gear Solid 3 I want to try to play. I've actually never played through for Metal Gear Solid 3, but many people consider it to be the best in the series, so they do. But like I played a bit of it though back on the PS2, but I just never finished it though. Although I did watch the disc, I think it's the Existence disc that it's basically this kind of 3-hour movie version of the game, where they basically edit, like they made it condensed into 3 hours and had like the scenes in it, and like I think some of the codecs, and also something like the gameplay is like edited gameplay is that way to make it sort of more like a proper like action film or whatever stuff. But then you're watching though, it's pretty cool though, and but like I've never I never actually played the game, but I did watch it before Metal Gear Solid 4 came out, which I'm very fond of, and I think that game's awesome. So I do. But I'll probably play it, sometime in the future though. But Sons of Liberty, 10 years later, still a great game. Darksiders 2. If you listen to my United Gaming podcast, then you pretty much know how much I absolutely love this game. Because for the few weeks when I started playing, I pretty much talked about it at length on the podcast and very much enjoyed it. So I did. But I was a big fan of the first one in 2010. I pretty much got not too long after it came out, now maybe a month or two, and I played through it and very much enjoyed it. I just felt it was a great mature Zelda clone. It was a Zelda game, because you couldn't you had to notice the similarities. So it's big sprawling world, go to these different dungeons, you get these different weapons and abilities, or kind of like the things you've seen in Zelda, and fighting bosses which were kind of reminiscent of bosses you've seen in Zelda and whatnot now. But it was a great game though, very very enjoyable game, and I think this is a better game. I honestly do in certain ways though, but there is certain parts of the first one I do like. I actually think I like the world was a bit more bigger and open though, rather than this one was kind of split into 4 different areas, big open world areas kind of in a way though. There was the Forest Lands, there was Kingdom of the Dead, there was Lost Light, and I completely forgot what the last one was called though, but it was a pretty small area at the end of the day though, which was pretty much just consisted of a dungeon really, and that was it. But it was absolutely a brilliant game. So it was. So it was, and very much really enjoyed I like the looting system. So I do the way you get these new weapons and armor and that there, and this so to compare and contrast what you have currently, and is this worth this here? Is it worth putting this on, or is it worth just getting rid of it and selling it on though? And so most of the time you sort of did get crap though. Most good part of the time it's mostly got crops nothing, and just way worse stats than one I currently had on at the moment though. But I did the whole possessed items as well, where you pretty much get them and you could sacrifice other items unwanted items to power it up then, and some of the time they were basically a lot better than some of the weapons you get in the game as well though. Very good though, and some of the boss battles are great though, and there's cool side quests which lead to some boss battles as well, which is pretty cool. But there is one big thing I did not like about the game. Well, one of the main things, the ending to it was very very lackluster. I played on the apocalyptic difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty you could play at the start now. And even though there are certain points of the game I did have problems with, I did die a few times. Even then, the final boss was just such a cakewalk. It was just just really easy though, and it's very it was just this boss. It's oh, it's gonna be cool though. Some of the other bosses were pretty fun to play though, but then you get to this boss and that was it. I was is that it? Really? Seriously? Is that all you have? And then the ending to it is pretty lackluster though. It kind of builds up though. You think it's it's gonna be cool, maybe a big epic finale or whatever, but no, just kind of peters out. After that though, it's just shame though. I really enjoyed the game though, but just the last mainly the after the last act. Well, not the last act completely now, but the sort of the last sort of boss battle and that there kind of falls flat in its ass. But still absolutely love the game though. Currently this is pretty much my favourite game of the year, because I just love the whole looting system. I love the different worlds you explored. Some of the dungeons were cool, some of the abilities. I really like the last dungeon where you pretty much have the Phase Walker, but it's upgrade though, where you pretty much go into the portal and you go back to the past, So you do the dungeon, and then you go back in the future games. All the crap is like ruined, and then you go back to it, it's like basically all build up and that there. I very much enjoyed that though. Pretty much cool there. But it's a great game though. Very much enjoyed. Just great boss battles, lovely, and also the art style, like some of the landscapes, fantastic though. Absolutely great art style to this game though, and Death. I love Death's voice, kick-ass character, and like the way he talks and that there, and some of the abilities you get though, pretty great. I'm actually doing a review at this game. I actually have the footage, but I actually just haven't bothered my ass doing a voiceover for it yet, which I should do over the next week or two and try to get it up for you people. Professor Layton and the Spectre's Call. This is of course the latest one that's come out, although like the next one, the Miracle Mask or Mask of Miracles, I forget what it's called, is coming out soon on the 3DS now. But I got this one for £15, and because I finished the last three, which I love, and I wanted to get this one before that one came out and try to finish it though, because I love the Professor Layton series. It's probably my favourite original series on the DS. A lot of people love the Ace Attorney series, which I have not played haven't played a single one of though, and like the Phoenix Wright and the other ones, like the spin-offs and that there. I've never played any of them, but I heard they're absolutely great games, and I really should though, because I know the same sort of team or whatever, I believe, did Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, which that game was brilliant back last year though. I really enjoyed playing it, and therefore should try it out. But back to Professor Layton. This is basically a prequel, so it is, because this is kind of this is kind of sort of where you first meet Luke, your partner, so you do, and he comes along, you're kind of their first mystery together though, and basically you go to this village. It is like Foggy Town and Miss Hallory to figure out what's the cause of this spectre that keeps coming up at nights, and basically wrecks the town. And Luke, it's kind of a bit of spoiler though for the first one, but Luke is the Luke. He's kind of like the organ. He basically states when actually the next attack's going to occur. So it does, and then you basically have to figure out the way what's the whole occurrence, why is this happening out there, and basically go through it though, of course, by solving puzzles along the way, pretty much like the previous Professor Layton games. But that's the charm of those games. I love the animation, just the simple sort of animation of these games, the way it looks though. Level 5 do a great job with it. I love some of the wee puzzles. Some of them are fiendishly hard, some of them sometimes, like in previous games they are. Some of them are simple enough, but the other ones are all really head scratchers at the end of the day, and you're just like, oh man, how does this work now? Oh jeez. And you have to figure it out. But luckily there is like hint coins, and sometimes the hints are like make it obvious, like okay, and then other times I figure out like, geez, I've gone through all the hints, I still don't know what to do, and then I pretty much have to fortunately cheat my ass and go online and look for a solution. I'm not ashamed to say that, but I do it sometimes, but not very, very regularly now. It's like, once in a while I do that now. But I very much love the Professor Layton games. I haven't really progressed very far in this one, like the first few chapters, but I absolutely do love this game though. I do love the Professor Layton games anyway, so this one's going to be no different at the end of the day. Sleeping Dogs. I got this on PC. This was shown on I believe I showed this on my last pickups video. I haven't played it like in the last week or two now, but like in terms of like more like racing games anyway, like last month I did play. This game is very enjoyable though, very enjoyable. I was concerned in picking it up though, but I seen it for £20 on Green Man Gaming, like I said. It's like, yeah, I'm going to get it at that price, so I think it's worth it, and I'm sure it is definitely worth what the price I paid for it at the moment though. This game look gorgeous on the PC though. Like I don't have necessarily the best graphics card now. Like the one I have is an ATI Radeon HD 5700, I think it is, or 55. I'll actually check here, but it's a 1 GB one now, but as I say, it's not the best graphics card in the world now. But like for what it does, like I can still have the high res on it though, and I have like some things at high and some things at like medium though, and it still runs absolutely perfectly fine. 5570, that's it, yeah. So because this PC is 2 years old now though, so it's considered probably like out of date now though. But I'm considering getting a new one soon though. But I want to get ones a bit more affordable and a bit more up to date anyway. Around paying like £300 for ones, rather than pay one for like maybe between like £100 and £200 at most now. But it's a great game. Just look gorgeous on the PC when you have like the high res pack and that there, and just some of the the neon lights, neon setting for Hong Kong, and the combat and something like the rain, the way the rain comes down. You see the whole the rain on the tarmac and that there just looks absolutely gorgeous. So it does. Very enjoyable game. Like the combat's very reminiscent of the Batman Arkham games. It's kind of GTA. It's like open city though, and you explore and you drive around and you do missions and uncover get items. Like you get these jade statues to unlock new melee attacks, and these shrines as well to get though, and upgrade your health and that there as well. So it does have those aspects as well, but it's still a very much enjoyable game. And some of the missions are very enjoyable for what I've played of thus far though, but haven't progressed too far into it now. One of the most recent missions is I just learned to use the gun, get the gun for the first time and use it there. So not very far though, but very enjoyable game nonetheless. So it's a pretty kick-ass game. And this one is going dead ass long now, so I hope to try and make this short now. Borderlands 2, I got there last Thursday, of course now, and this, I was a big fan of the first one. I got it when it came out though, although it took me a while to actually finish. So it did though. It took me a good few months though, because it kind of went on and off in that game though. Like it just played it for a good maybe a week, and then just sort of didn't play it then again for that, because I just picked up another game and then went back to it though. But I really enjoyed Borderlands though, so there's no question about it that I was going to pick this one up at launch though, and play it and probably enjoy it as well though. Played about 5-10 hours of it though, maybe a bit more. I'm at level 12. And I'm not sure about this game though. Part of me wants to say I really enjoy I think it's better than the first one though, but part of me says it's pretty much the same as the first one. You're not really going to get any huge differences now though. So basically, if you really enjoyed the first one though, chances are you're going to enjoy this one as well, because it is pretty much the same game. You're going around these different areas in Pandora. You're going to pick up loads and loads of guns with different stats, elemental damage, boosts for certain things and whatnot now, and shields and other the mods and things like that as well. Do these various quests and side quests, and go around these large areas, which sometimes are a bit too much for me because it take you ever. I'm kind of it's probably I'm kind of a bit OCD sometimes, and the fact is I tend to thoroughly go around all of the area that I'm currently in, and explore pretty much every nook and cranny, and open all the different lockers and chests and little foot lockers and things like that now. Try all the cans and things like that to get the different weapons and money and ammo and things like that there. So if I just go through it though and not just do that every night, I could probably do it in easily half the time that it takes me to go through an area though, rather than spending an eternity in it now. But but one of the problems I still have though, and I don't know what the fast it's just sometimes I said the area's a bit too big though, and especially when you want to go back and hand in a mission, you have to go slog all the way back to the nearest fast travel station, and that could be easily 5-10 minutes away now. So it could, like, especially in an area you can't use the vehicle though. If you're in a vehicle easy, you know, if that's great though, you can just drive though and it takes you like a couple of minutes. That's like a few minutes or so, that's fine. But when you have to slog at the end of an area and you have to slog all the way back to the start of it, and then you have to go to a different area to get to the fast travel station, that's something that just annoys me though. I don't know if I'm the only one now that thinks that way, but I just do find it kind of annoying though with that there. And I kind of wish that they made it, you know, like if they sort of had a fast travel station thing in every area they're in, that to me would probably be the best situation. Like, so that's great though, the fast travel station. I don't think there is in every single area now, but there is in a few, I believe. But if there's one, if like, to me there should be one, like maybe fast travel area station thing at the start of an area, the middle of an area, and the end of an area. If it's a big ass area now, if it's like a smallish area now that you can easily go through in like a lot of minutes, so fine enough, no problem, you should just have one at the start of an area or whatnot. But if it's like a big huge ass area that if you're going to explore every nook and cranny, it's going to take you an hour or so to do, then there should be one, maybe like one at the start and one at the end would be fine though, and something like that. Like that to me would just make that, like, my problem with it a bit easier. Like that'll probably be fine. But maybe I'm just being a bit whiny about it because you kind of sport with games like, you know, the Elder Scrolls games like Skyrim, you know, Fallout, and living like some of those games, those open world games where you can basically fast travel to your heart's content. You basically just have to go on a map, click that thing. Do you want to fast travel there? Yep, go ahead, and you're there. And like after loading screens, like, yeah, that's great. But like this is split off into big areas. Like this is it's a big world, but it's split off into different areas. Like you go to a different area, and then it's like this big world. You can travel in vehicles and things like that now. But I still enjoy it though. I still think it's a great game though. Like some of the weapons are cool. Like I love the pistols in this game. I very much enjoy. That's pretty much my main weapon. I've been using the pistols. So some of them are great, especially like the revolver. Like the ones you like, you can just shoot and like pull the trigger very fast, and you just like one like those, like, you know, proper like Western revolvers now, like Jacobs, and some of the other ones are pretty cool as well. But it's still a great game though. Like some of the weapons are still cool to use and things like that. And some of the quests are fun to do. I still think it does improve on the first game. Like I do like the whole user interface now. I'm using Mara the Siren, and I very much like her ability to phase lock. So I do. Well, basically, if you're having maybe trouble with enemies, keep shooting, you just basically phase lock, and you float. It makes it get float in the air, and then just basically shoot to your heart's content until he's dead. It's great. So I do. So that's great. But it's still a nice looking game as well. I love the, you know, the graphical style, like the cell shaded style to it though. It's pretty much, it does look better than the first game though as well though. But it's still a great game. At the end of the day, very much really enjoy it though. I'll probably be playing more of it, and I'll be talking mainly a lot about it in this week's United Gaming podcast with Dennis and Darro. So if you want to check that out, stay tuned this weekend. I have played a few other games like Trine 2 and Fear 3, but I think I'll probably save them until the next episode because it's nearly 30 minutes long now, and this is like, jeez Louise, this is like kind of back to what I was like back in the day. Because if you've been following me since GameSpot, you know I tended to do 25 to 30 minute video blogs. So, because I tend to ramble on. So hope you enjoyed this here now. I'm gonna try to make. I'm not gonna focus on every single game now. Like I'm gonna do the same as before now. Like I'll split into two different sections where I'll have, like, you know, have the games I've been playing a good chunk of, and the ones I've like maybe put in like a couple of an hour or two at most though, and just give you like brief impressions. So actually before I go, I did mention earlier that I wanted to there's something I want to do for next year now. I am considering doing this here, like, because there's a thing on a forum that this guy did called Marmot on a forum. I visit Pete's Gaming Forum, and a lot of people on YouTube do that, visit that forum. And he basically stated that he was only going to buy 5 games through the entire year, and not like 5 games at most, and that's it. And I am concerned, and I believe he's still doing it though. I think he might have bought 3 or 4 games at the moment though, so he still has 1 to go or 2 to go. I'm concerned doing probably would be impossible to do. I'm concerned of not buying a single game next year. Like, not used or new whatsoever. Because backlog is fucking crazy in my opinion, so it is. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's going to take me forever to do that, go through this here. I am concerned in doing it. Problem is, first few months of the year, there is a bunch of games that I want to get. 3 of them, especially Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, and Bioshock Infinite, and probably my most anticipated game of 2013, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. So that is going to be a problem, but this could be considered a bit of a cheat. I consider it a loophole. I could actually purchase those games. It's like, right, I can buy them games now, or like, you know, near the end of the year before 1st of January hits. It's like, okay, I bought it now, and it's like I didn't buy it in 2013. I bought it in 2012. I put my money towards it. That might be considered like a bit cheat. It might be considered cheating. I think it's a loophole. It's like I didn't necessarily bought a game in 2013. I bought it in 2012. I could do that. We never know. I might consider doing that. I'm not full on. You know, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm considering it. Let me know what you think if you think I should do this or not. At the end of the day. But anyway, this is going way too long now. Apologies for that. Until then guys, take care and I'll see you all next time. Bye.